In aesthetic medicine, your hands are what perform the art, for sure. But what if I told you your most powerful tool for building a truly elite practice is actually your ears? Today, we're going to break down why active listening isn't some soft skill. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate conversion tool.
Okay, picture this. You've got two practitioners. Both have incredible qualifications, same pricing, same treatments. The patient walks in. The first doctor immediately launches into this really technical pitch about neuromodulators and dermal fillers. The second one, well, she asks a simple question, leans in, and just listens. So who do you think books that patient? The answer to that question is going to be the foundation for everything we talk about today.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive into what I call the consultation paradox. Then we'll look at the very real, hard numbers, the cost of poor listening. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, the anatomy of great listening. We'll even tackle how to handle objections with empathy, and finally, wrap it all up with how to listen your way to becoming that go-to trusted advisor. All right, let's start with a truth that can be a little tough to swallow. You can be the most technically gifted injector in your entire region, with the steadiest hands and an artist's eye, but that alone doesn't guarantee a fully booked schedule. There's a paradox, you see, at the very heart of the consultation, that so many brilliant practitioners completely miss. And here it is. Here's a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. A whopping 73% of patients choose their practitioner based on one single thing: feeling understood and heard. Yep, it's not about being the cheapest, and it's not even about having the longest list of credentials. It all comes down to connection. So if that's what patients are craving, what happens when they don't get it? Well, this isn't just about someone having a bad experience. This has a direct, it has a measurable, and frankly, a pretty painful financial impact right on your bottom line. Let's just look at the hard data for a second. Poor listening isn't a vague problem. It creates very specific financial leaks in your practice. We're talking about more no-shows, way lower conversion rates on new patients, and lower acceptance of your bigger, more comprehensive treatment plans. These are the leaks that can sink a practice over time. Think about your no-shows for a minute. That empty slot in your schedule, what does that really cost you? Well, get this. 67% of those no-shows happen because the patient felt rushed or misunderstood during that first call or consultation. They just lost confidence, and poof, they're gone. And what about the ones who actually make it through the door? Research shows that practitioners tend to interrupt their patients within the first 18 seconds. 18 seconds! And when they do, they see conversion rates drop by 40%. Let that sink in. 40%. Just by not letting them finish their sentence, you could be chopping your potential revenue from new patients almost in half. But okay, let's flip this around, because here's the incredible upside. Practitioners who truly master active listening, they see treatment plan acceptance rates that are 2.3 times higher. This is huge. It means you're not just booking a single treatment, you're building trust that leads to patients saying yes to the comprehensive, transformative plans you know will give them the best results. Okay, so we've seen the problem, we know the financial stakes are high. So now let's get practical. Let's talk solutions. Active listening isn't some magical, fuzzy concept. It's a real skill. It's structured, it's learnable, and it has a clear anatomy. Let's break it down. We can really boil this down to 4 key pillars. First, it's on you to create a truly collaborative environment. Second, you have to master a technique called emotional reformulation. It's a game changer. Third, and this is a tough one for a lot of us, you have to learn to use silence strategically. And finally, you have to learn to listen for the code, to hear what the patient isn't saying out loud. This right here perfectly shows the power of that emotional reformulation I just mentioned. Look at that shift. The first statement is clinical, it's about a feature. So you want to reduce your crow's feet? The second one is about a feeling, a benefit. It sounds like you want to feel more confident. A patient doesn't just want fewer wrinkles, they want the feeling that comes with it. When you reflect that back, you go from being a technician to being a partner. You have to remember, patients almost always speak in code. They'll use these common phrases that are really masking deeper fears. When she says, "I just don't want to look done," what she's really saying is, "I'm terrified my friends or my partner will judge me." When she says, "I'm not sure about the cost," it's often code for, "I need you to help me understand why this is a worthwhile investment in myself." Learning to be a code breaker is everything. And this idea of breaking the code, it leads to a more advanced way of thinking about this. You need to be listening on 3 distinct levels at the same time. Level 1 is just the content, the surface level. "I hate these jowls." Okay. Level 2 is the context, what it means. "I feel like I'm looking old." But level 3, that's the core need. That's the gold. It's, "I want to feel attractive and confident again." Elite practitioners hear and speak directly to level 3. Now, of course, even if you are the world's greatest listener, you are still going to get objections. It's just part of the process. The secret is to stop seeing them as roadblocks and start seeing them as requests for more information, as opportunities to build even deeper trust. And for that, we have the BEAUTY method. It's a systematic, empathy-first approach that just works. Let's walk through it real quick. B is for breathe. Just pause. Don't react. E is for acknowledge the emotion behind what they said. A is for ask deeper questions to get to the real issue. U is for understand by summarizing it back to them to show you get it. T is for transforming the objection from a problem into a shared goal. And finally, Y is for creating a yes path that guides you both toward a solution you can agree on. So let's apply this to the biggest one, right? Price. Your gut instinct is to jump in and defend your pricing, to list your qualifications. Don't do it. Instead, just get curious. Use a simple, powerful question like, help me understand what too high means for you. You're not arguing anymore, you're exploring. And you might just discover the real issue has nothing to do with the total number, but maybe with payment terms or something else entirely. And when you start putting all these pieces together, something really fundamental starts to shift. You stop being just a service provider, someone who performs a procedure. You become something much more valuable. You become their indispensable, trusted advisor, the person they turn to for outcomes, not just treatments. And that is the ultimate goal. And for those of you who are ready to really take this to the next level, there are some powerful advanced techniques. Things like the mirror technique, where you simply repeat the last few words a patient says. It encourages them to go deeper. Or the future self question, where you ask them to vividly describe how they want to feel 6 months from now. Or even the confidence scale, asking them to rate their confidence from 1 to 10, which gives you a concrete goal to aim for. So, let's bring it all home. Every single patient who sits in your chair is literally handing you the script on how to earn their business, their loyalty, and their trust. They are telling you everything, their hopes, their deep-seated fears, their true motivations. The real art is learning how to quiet your own mind long enough to actually hear it. So I want to leave you with this one question to take with you into your very next consultation. When that patient sits down and starts to talk, what are they really going to tell you? Because if you listen, really listen, they will tell you absolutely everything you need to know to succeed.